So,
Hi, Lotta.
now
I'm so happy to see you.
the same. I'm really looking forward to meet you here on Hangout and to do this series that we're going to do together.
Yeah, this is actually a dream come true for me to work with someone like-minded, like you, that has several years of knowledge of business, people, and how to become more successful at what you want to do. Because I know that you have worked with a lot of companies and helped them to be more successful, and so have I. So
Yes, that's true.
I'm really looking forward to this. So, I would like to ask you to start out with tell us something about you.
Mm? Something about me. I live in Sweden, in the middle of Sweden, and I live and work from home. I work from countryside, so my nearest town is around 30 kilometers to the nearest town, and that is Uppsala. So, and I really love it to work from home and to use the computer and also to meet lots of people all over the world on this way when you can work from home.
I totally agree. I do the same actually. I work from home and have done so for I think 12, 13 years. And I just love it. I go out occasionally and network to meet some new people, but I mostly also work through the computer and my telephone. And it's a lifestyle that I really love. We
Yeah.
live a bit far from each other. I live in a small city south of Stockholm, about 30 kilometers also, and really enjoy that we can work together like this, thanks to the technology.
Yes, I think the same. And we can tell them before that we met on a network meeting in Stockholm for several years ago. And they was there we started to talk to each other and saw that we had the same interest when it comes to business.
Yeah, kindred spirits, as they say.
Yes, that's true.
So, tell us, what are you going to talk about today?
Yeah, we are going to talk about a little bit how to grow your business because we think that is so important for people in all country because it's no different if you have your own business in Sweden or Germany or Denmark, Norway, US. It's the same all over the world. Everyone have the same problem when it comes to grow their business. So we are going to talk a little bit about how we have done to reach more customers and how to reach more people in other countries. And that's why we do these hangout to tell you about a little bit about how we do everything and how we use the computer to reach more people around.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you do when you talk to people on from your home and computer, and what kind of system do you use? Do you have something special system to use?
Uh, I I don't use so much systems. Well, the what I use most is my email system because that's the key thing to find um, people who are interested in what I do and have a way to follow up with them without being salesy and to be able to share my knowledge and give them some tips and tricks. So we sort of bond and create a relationship. That's the key thing in my business.
Wow, that is really interesting. Do you have an autoresponder that you use? And then do you have any special day you send out your email, or is it just for um, someday you say, okay, today I'm going to do it, or do you have every Monday you send one, or every Wednesday, something like that?
That differs a lot.
Mm.
For 2 years, I was really rigid to send out an email every other week on Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, but it worked very well. And then something happened that took me off that routine, and I'm now not sending out regularly. I'm sending out when I feel like I have something I want to say, and hopefully something that the people appreciate. So at the moment, it's not regularly.
Is it some different when you did it regularly, or from now when you sent out when you have something to tell your audience about?
Well, the reason I could do it regularly before was that I had less clients to take care of. Now I'm a bit more busy, so I prioritize to take care of my clients, and that's why I'm not that rigorous with sending out emails every other week.
Okay.
It's practical reasons, really.
Yeah. Because I used to, or I do, every Tuesday I sent out my newsletters, and then I also make a blog post that day, and send it out to my audience or to the people that have subscribed to my list. So I do it in the morning on every Tuesday, and I started for some weeks ago, because before that I was telling myself okay, I need to do it, and I had done it before, and I don't know why I stopped with it. But when I started again to do it, and when I did it regularly, something happened, because people that I didn't know that they were reading my newsletters came back to me and said, wow, this is really good. So I really need to do it more regularly and stick to it and really do it the whole time.
Do you have a plan, or do you figure it out as you type?
No, now I got a plan. I did it in the beginning of this year. I started my own, I made my own plan, because so I really had time to do it. And then I used these post-it laps, these, let's see, this kind of small, and I put them up on my wall and first I write down lots of different blog posts that I can do, so things that I want to write about. So I put it on my wall, and then I just pick one of them to write about, because I have everything, it's already done. So I use them, and then I make my newsletter after that. So I make my own blog post, and then I make the newsletter after.
Okay. So you post it on your blog first?
Yes.
And then you put it in the newsletter. Okay.
Yeah.
When I've done that, I did the opposite way.
Okay. That is also good. Yeah.
Different way. So, was something I'm going to ask you about the newsletters. So, how long have you been doing those newsletters?
I've been doing it for 1 year, and in the beginning I really did it every week, and then I had a down, a middle, in the middle, and then I started again. And I really see that I need to do it every week, because it gets more. People can come to me now and tell me that, okay, I've been watching you for a long time, and I've been subscribing to your newsletters, and they are really good. And sometimes when you're your own, you feel like this, okay, maybe it's not good, maybe people doesn't read it, but it's always someone who reads it out there. So go on, don't stop to do it, go on and do it the whole time instead. And don't get afraid if you get a mail that say that this wasn't good, because that also happened. but you have all the other people that really loves what you're doing. It's more easy to write to them and think about them when you write your blog posts and also when you write your newsletters.
Yeah.
So I really have to go on and do it every week and be better to it. And also, I heard lots of people to say to me that, oh, I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
It takes so much time to do it. But the best is, it's also that I don't need to do it on a Tuesday. I can write my blog post on a Friday, and then I put it on. I tell the system what day I wanted to send out
Yeah.
and what time I wanted to send out. And I also do that with my newsletters. I also tell what day and what time. So I used to do it like this. I write my blog post and then I make my newsletter. And when I've done that, and I know that it's going out 10 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday, then 11 o'clock a.m. the same day, I have also that it sends out on like Facebook.
Okay. Do you have a link or the actual information?
I have a link to my blog post, so I don't have the newsletter. I know that some people also post their own newsletter out there on social media, but I think that the newsletter is really for the one who subscribe to my list. So I don't want to show other people what I wrote in that one. So it's just the blog post I sent out. And from there, I have my IFO, so the people that are not on my list can subscribe to it.
Yeah. So what do you put in your newsletter? What is it that people like to read about?
When I put in what I put in my newsletters, it's a little bit different, but it's almost what have happened the last week, something that have some connection to the blog post I made. So for example, I made one for some weeks ago that it was about networking, because I go to a network meeting somewhere every week. I have that every week I need to go to one network meeting and meet other people. So I made a blog post about network meeting, and then I wrote in the newsletter what have happened on one of my network meeting that I was on. So I write from myself things that I'm not writing in the blog post. So something special that have happened or so. And then I also take some of the text from the blog post I also put in the newsletter. Because I think that it's better if you are personally to the people that subscribe to your newsletter.
Yeah.
And then in the blog post you can be more like have really fact and things like that.
Okay, so you're not that personal in your blog posts.
No, sometimes it depends on what it is.
Yeah. But generally.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your biggest purpose with, you say you want to write every week. What do you see the biggest gain will be for you?
That is that the people that have subscribed to my list, they get to know me. And when they get to know me, it's more easy for them to come back and say, okay, I want to buy your course, or I want to buy your online course and things like that. So because then they know me.
They trust you more.
Yes.
Yeah. I know I have subscribed to a few coaches over the years since I started, which I did in 2001. And I feel like I know them. It feels like they're my friends, but they don't know who I am because there were almost no interaction.
Exactly, and that is so good because it's like if I should go somewhere and buy a course, and I don't know anything about this person, it's harder to buy it on like internet.
Well, if you don't
Uh,
trust people,
yeah,
you don't know anything about them, it's difficult
no.
to trust.
So it's better to build a relationship with the people first before you do it.
Yeah,
Before you can think that they want to come back to you and buy from you.
yeah.
So newsletters, it's really good, and it's not so hard to do because I use Mailchimp. I don't know what program you use.
I use I contact.
Okay, yeah, almost everyone are the same, so it's not so big different with them.
Yes.
Uh, the thing that is good with Mailchimp, that is that you can have 2,000 subscribers for free, and then you can also send out 12,000 newsletters every month. So
Okay.
that means that you can send out one each week, and you don't need to pay anything for it from the beginning. Because when you have really low list, or you don't have so much people on your list, it's not, you don't need to pay for it because it just costs then. It's better to have built up the list before, and then you can start to pay for it and get um, more things that are in these programs. But you can use the free one first.
Yeah.
And then when you have built up that one and go on and send out mail, and you always, or you can have a call to action also in the newsletter. And then you get them back to your website.
Call to action.
Yes. So I use Mailchimp, and it's really easy to use, and it looks fine when it go out to people.
Can you just tell me what you mean by having a call to action? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Of course. A call to action, it can be like come and buy this course, or one call to action can be get this free video about something that you have done. So something that the people really need to, they really want to press the button and see more.
Okay.
That you tell the people to go to that page or go to that specific place on your website to know more.
And
so that is a call to action, and it's really good to have in your newsletter, in your posts that you have on like Facebook, LinkedIn, always have something with a call to action, so you get the clients to take the next step and see more about what you are doing.
Yeah. Okay.
And that you can always have in your newsletters also, somewhere on it.
Yeah. You know, something that reminds me of what you just said was that I went to a class once to get my writing going. And one thing I remember most from the class was that when the teacher asked, how many of you have stacks of paper on your desk? And almost everyone raised their hand. And she said, do you know why? And no one really could answer that. And she said, I know why. And everyone went like, oh, tell us. And she said that was why there were no call to action on the paper sheet. She said, so her point was that when you write a document, you should always write what you want the reader to do with it.
Yeah.
Sign it, or keep it until 2 weeks' time, and then you can throw it away. I mean, when you write those things, you think that people can think by themselves, but not necessarily. It helps so much when you just write down something that do this. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And then you go and do it. Helps out a lot. A simple trick, but very, very useful. So that also comes to what do you want your contact list to do? Sometimes you want them to buy something, and sometimes you want them to be interested in something else that you offer as a freebie or something. So it's a very good point.
Really good. That was a really good one. I also have paper on my on my desk, so I should write something on it. A call to action on it. But it's really good to have this call to action, because this maybe sounds a little bit rude or crazy, because you need to take your customer in their hand and follow them the whole way. So if you write something and you say that, okay, sounds so good, people really have to understand this, but they not always do that. You really need to write it so step by step, from the first to the end, what they're going to do the whole way between there. So take them in your hand and follow them through the whole process.
Yeah. Yeah, and by that, I think we should wrap up for today.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
Yes. Bye.